Imagine picking up your bowling ball for your 12th shot of your game. As you pick up your ball, you say to yourself, "This is it. This is when it's gonna happen." So you take your stance, you bend your knees, you think to yourself, "Hit my target, push straight, slow feet, no muscle, have my elbow in, and follow through to hit my target." You take a deep breath and you go for it. 10 seconds later, strike. You got your first 300. To do this, you probably have about a 180 to a 200 average. To have that, you probably have great timing. But if your timing's off by the slightest bit, then your arm swing will be all out of whack, and that's just not good. But when your great timing does happen, that means that you released at the correct time, and you got your perfect shot to get that 300. This is something that I've personally been working on for about 2 years now. But before you get to this level, however, you need to know the basics, like bowling terms and lingo, bowling tips, proper bowling technique, and some bowling secrets as well. For my first main point, I'm going to talk about bowling terms and lingo and some tips also. Some of the terms are ball return, a double wood, which is when there's a pin that's left behind another pin, a foul line, and a foul line is the line that you can't cross when you're bowling. Gutter ball, handicap, head pin, moving in and moving out, which means it's just like adjusting your feet on the lane to where you need the ball to go. Spare, split, strike, and turkey. And a turkey is just when you get 3 strikes in a row. Also, there's several more terms that you would learn along the way when you're bowling. According to www.helpwithbowling.com, which was published in 2010, there are several steps that beginners should take in practice before becoming a great bowler. Becoming a better bowler also depends on some mental preparation and physical practice. Both are very important to mastering your own personal bowling goals. Obviously, you need to go through and work on your fundamentals before you can go down and work on more harder things you need to work on. You need to have your fundamentals down before you can break down your game. The order of things that you work on is very important. If you're a very beginning bowler, you need to first work on your straight ball, becoming consistent with that, how you deliver the ball, which has to do with how many steps you take, and the release. Also, you need to think about how far you're letting go of the ball before it hits the ground, and how fast you're throwing the ball as well. And another thing that you need to think about is how you grip the ball, because that's really important in bowling. According to www.bowlinglessons.org, which was published in 2007, you need to use a bowling ball with holes that are large enough to allow your fingers and thumb to slide out easily, but not so large that you can't grip the ball. Your arms should be loose while you hold the ball and roll it down the lane. And also, if you don't have your own bowling ball, I would really strongly recommend you going and getting your own bowling ball, like this one that I went to the pro shop and got for myself, and it works really good. I mean, I have about like 9 or 10 personally myself, but it's good to have your own bowling ball if you're wanting to get better at bowling. For my second main point, I'm going to talk about bowling techniques. You obviously want to be able to get your own personal bests, and to do this you need to be consistently practicing to raise your scores and average. 2 of the most important bowling techniques you need to work on are your approach and your swing. Your approach involves bending your knees, what position you hold the bowling ball to start in. Like, I start like this and then push straight, and where you hold your bowling ball, how high or low, that affects how high or low your backswing is when you need to follow through. And your swing involves working on your timing, your release and rotation of the ball, and how you finish as well. When your timing's off, then your whole swing is going to be off, which is not good at all. When you're working on these techniques, it's good to have somebody else help you, like it's good to have a pair of second eyes also, and they could record you as well, and then you can both go back through and look at what you need to work on and stuff like that. And it's good to just work with 1 or 2 people. According to www.lifeguides.net, which was published in 2010, when you bowl with a large group on a single lane, you'll often forget your previous mistakes that you made. And by the time it's your turn to bowl again, this isn't a good way to do it, obviously. This gets in the way of developing your muscle memory that you form and focusing on the proper techniques. Some bowling secrets that you guys might not know. If you can bowl consecutive strikes, then you're obviously going to increase your average because you're getting more consistent and throwing the ball in the pocket, which is a good thing to get strikes. And this is the key to getting high scores as well. Also, it's good to learn how to correctly hook the ball, not just doing it all with your hand. Also, once you become more advanced, you need to think about how much oil is on the lanes, because that'll affect where the ball rolls on the lane and how much it hooks or how much it doesn't hook. According to www.bowlingmentor.com, which is published in 2006, if you learn how to use your time wisely and figure out what you need to do fast enough during your game, then you'll give yourself the competitive edge that you need to be able to keep winning. Also, one thing that's majorly overlooked is picking up your spares. That's like the most important thing in bowling. Because if you don't pick up your spares, then your game's going to go down. Because obviously you're not going to strike every time, because no one does that. Also, something that's really important in bowling is your mental aspect of bowling. Just unlike any other sport like golf, basketball, tennis, and this makes you be able to believe in yourself. That's something I'm working on as well. And once you've achieved all this stuff, then you can give back to the community by like helping youth bowlers or just other adults that want to learn how to bowl. You can break down their game like you did your own. Just start out with bowling basics like bowling terms and lingo, the tips, bowling technique, and some insight on bowling secrets that you may yourself have learned. Just start slow and take your time, and it's always rewarding to see a kid or even an adult get better at bowling.